The material presents the relationship between healthcare spending and average life expectancy in a given country. The list comes from the Visual Capitalist portal, link provided in the video description. On the right vertical axis we see average spending per person for the year 2019. The lower axis shows life expectancy from birth. Dots mark individual countries, some of them are described. Countries are assigned to continents by color: green, Africa; yellow, Asia; blue, Europe; lime green, North America; black, Australia and Oceania; red, South America. There is a convergence between life expectancy and healthcare spending. Countries where people live the shortest spend the least on healthcare, for example Chad. In countries with the highest healthcare spending, life expectancy is the highest, for example Iceland. We can see that most African countries spend less than $100 per person on healthcare and life expectancy rarely exceeds 70 years. It is worth noting that the countries of North Africa have significantly higher life expectancy. In Asia, a slight majority of countries spend less than $500 per capita on healthcare, but some countries spend several $1,000s per person. Japan spends the most, $4,360. Japan is the country in the world with the highest life expectancy, 84.5 years. Life expectancy in most Asian countries exceeds 70 years. In Europe, three groups of countries can be seen. Those spending less than $1,000 per person, in which the life expectancy is between 71 and 78 years. The second group consists of countries spending from $1,000 to $3,000 with a life expectancy of 75 to 82 years. The third group spends from $3,000 to almost $10,000, with a life expectancy of 80 to 83 years. One may get the impression that in this last group, which spends the most, the efficiency differs significantly. For example, the same age of 83 is reached in Switzerland with an expenditure of $9,700 per person and in Iceland with an expenditure of $6,300. In North America, the United States spends the most on healthcare per capita, almost $11,000, to reach the age of 77. Canada spends more than half as much, reaching the age of 82. The countries of Central America spend less than $2,000 per person, and the age ranges from 73 to 81. The countries of South America achieve similar results. Australia and New Zealand spend about $5,500 per person and $4,200 per person, respectively, reaching the result of 83 and 82 years. The island countries of Oceania spend less than $500 per capita, and the life expectancy there ranges from 67 to 74 years. Let's stop for a moment at the extreme data from today's infographic. The four countries in the lower left corner clearly stand out from the rest. These are Chad, Sierra Leone, Nigeria and Lesotho. Here, people spend between $30 and $124 per person, but their life expectancy is 55 years. The lowest in the world. At the opposite end of the spectrum are Japan and Singapore. Here, people live 85 and 84 years, respectively. Japan spends $4,400 on healthcare, and Singapore spends $2,600. Singapore has very effective healthcare, perhaps the most in the world. Similar results are achieved with the same expenditure by Malta and South Korea, at 83 years each, and Spain at 82 years. It is significant that in Europe, Mediterranean countries allow life expectancy to exceed 80 years with expenditures not exceeding $3,000. Other European countries have to spend more than $4,500 to achieve this result, but usually more. The top 10 countries in the world that spend the least on healthcare are African countries: Madagascar, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Benin, Malawi, Gambia and Chad. They spend between $20 and $30 per person, with an average of 26. The average life expectancy is 63 years. The top 10 countries in the world that spend the most on healthcare are the USA, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, Luxembourg, Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Ireland, Australia. They spend between $5,500 and $11,000 per person. The average life expectancy is 82 years. The number one country in the world in terms of healthcare spending, the United States, lags far behind the other winners of the ranking. Although there is a correlation between spending and life expectancy from Australia to Switzerland, there is a significant inefficiency in the USA. Let's look at other countries where life expectancy is the same as in the US, at 77 years. I calculated that among the 16 countries where people live to be 77, the average spend is less than $600 per person. That's 20 times less than in the US. Even more shocking is that in Sri Lanka or Morocco the same result is achieved with expenditures that are over 60 times lower. That's shocking. Tunisia, Algeria and Thailand, expenditures 50 times lower, the same result. Iran, less than $500. The same result. China, $535, the same result. 22 times higher efficiency of healthcare. Poland, expenditures 11 times lower, the same result as in the US. There are 60 countries in the world where life expectancy is the same or higher than in the US, but in all of them significantly less money is spent on healthcare. It should be noted, however, that the average age in the US may be underestimated due to the liberal approach to certain phenomena related to social order. Some US residents have an unhealthy diet, and in some regions, very high consumption of stimulants is noted, which is why very young people die. In some groups, the average life expectancy will therefore be significantly lower. On the other hand, people who lead a healthy lifestyle have a chance to live in good health for more than the average 77 years. It is significant that the countries with the highest expenditures on medical care per capita, i.e. the US and Switzerland, are home to the headquarters of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Interesting fact. Only those countries that pay more than $1,500 per person have access to the 80-year-old club. The exceptions are Chile and Costa Rica, with tickets costing $1,400 and $900, respectively. There are 31 countries in the senior club, 80+. Most of them are from Europe. Go to the website provided in the link in the film description to find your country. And now subscribe to this channel so you don't miss other interesting infographics. Sayonara.